Yo, what is up, everybody? We are so close now to the Royal Rumble. I just realized I hit the button 3 times on my stream. So literally, I heard the same thing 3 times. So apologies if there was some feedback. As you can see, I'm riding solo to guys. I'm riding solo today. Literally every man for themselves. I think it's quite fitting for the Royal Rumble PLE. Deeks is somewhat busy. Unfortunately, he had plans prior. We were supposed to do this a couple of days ago. Unfortunately, due to the fact that Shades has fallen ill, he was hospitalized recently. I'm a one-man band at the moment, so yeah, I'm riding solo. Just to let you know, Shades is okay. He is home. He's doing well. He's recovering. Hope you're okay, buddy. I know you're most probably watching. And obviously Deeks at some point we'll get him back on, and then if we can get his reviews on Royal Rumble, obviously Penta and everything else that's been going on. It's been a bit of a crazy month for us as wrestling fans. Mainly WWE fans. If you're just a WWE fan on Netflix, if so, are you enjoying it? I do hope so. It's been really good to be able to just watch it on Netflix. Just click the button, done, and we're good to go. So guys, if it's your first time tuning in, then please subscribe, hit that follow button whether you listen to us on X, YouTube, or Twitch. Give us a follow, hit that subscribe button so we know you're listening, we know you're there. Also, you can communicate with us, give us your thoughts, tell us what you think is going to happen during the show. That would be absolutely fantastic. As I said, we are less than 10 hours away, basically, from the show. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, we've got only 4 matches to cover. But I think 2 of them are going to be bloody long matches. So let's get on to them. So in no particular order, let's go. I think this match, honestly, I think this could actually steal the show. I'm going to go in quick with this because I think it's quite a bold statement. But DIY versus the Motor City Machine Guns in a 2 out of 3 falls match. I honestly, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to end. I really don't. I feel like it'll go one apiece for sure. I think definitely maybe DIY will get the upper hand on the first fall, and then MCMG will come back on the second. And then when it comes down to the third match, the third fall, sorry. Honestly, I have no idea. I guess DIY would be great to see. It'd be great to see them kind of overcome MCMG, but the fact that they didn't do that in the first place, they cheated to win, kind of changes my view. So I think Motor City Machine Guns, I think they need to get a win here, right? Obviously, if you are watching us live on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, or Twitch, whatever you're watching us on live, feel free to comment. Talk to us, tell us, or tell me even what your thoughts are, what your opinions are. How do you think the match is going to go down, and so on and so on. That would be absolutely great to hear from you as well. So yeah, that's the first match. I think though, as I said, this match could actually steal the show. Four incredibly top talents here. Obviously, we've seen things at Motor City Machine Guns outside of WWE. Arguably, I think their run has been, I don't want to say lackluster, but I think it's been a little bit stop and start to a degree. Like, I've enjoyed it, but I think for some reason WWE isn't showcasing tag team wrestling as good as they could. And that is such a shame, bearing in mind we have such great tag team wrestlers and talent that could be in a tag team. And when they do show it, it's always like a 6-man or an 8-man, for example. It's never what we want it to be. The title isn't like the be all and end all, which is crazy because the tag titles are one of my favorite titles for that to watch happen. Let's go back quite a few years ago when we had the ladder match. I think it was the New Day, the Usos, and the Lucha Dragons. And man, what absolutely insane like tag team wrestling. And it's a shame that we don't kind of get the tag team division pushed upon us as much now as we did then. It is a shame. But needless to say, I reckon this match here potentially it could steal the show if done the right way. So I didn't get any reactions from Deeks or Shades on this. I did message them about 20-25 minutes ago, asking their opinions. They did give me some stuff. Obviously that's on a little bit later. So going on to our next match, by the way. Actually, before we do that, there is a couple things you can do to support this channel and this podcast. So firstly, if you haven't heard it, we interviewed Mr. Marco Stunt. He is the guy that is running Pro Wrestling Adrenaline, PWA. Shouts out to him. I hope he's doing well. Hope the show went really, really well in January. I know he has another show coming up. So, guys, once the tickets are released, or if they have been already, I'll find out. I will let you know. But please go and check that out if you are local to where Marco puts the shows on. Please go and give some support. That would be absolutely fantastic. If you haven't heard the interview, Marco talks about his retirement, what he's doing with his life now, obviously being a PWA owner, and the shows that he's doing, what he's looking forward to, his thoughts on everything that's going on in AEW with the Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. So if you can, check it out. That would be really good. Another thing that we also do, we have done a live vlog when we went to Sheffield to watch WWE live. Check that out as well. That was really, really fun. Not only we do some random videos like that, we also have done a few tier lists. So Money in the Bank winners. We was going to do one for this year for the Royal Rumble. Unfortunately, we couldn't. We just couldn't get around to it. As I said, like timing, we just couldn't get around to it, unfortunately. So maybe we'll do something kind of in reflection to that. Maybe we'll talk about our favorites on the past. And finally, the main thing that we ask is we are working in partnership with Rogue Energy. So unleash your potential with Rogue Energy. It's the premium energy drink. It fuels your focus, whether you're streaming, gaming, working, or even hitting a gym. There's no jitters, I can guarantee that. Just sustained energy. So elevate your day with Rogue. Use code THEHOUNDS. That's THEHOUNDS. That's the code THEHOUNDS. That's THEHOUNDS at the checkout for 10% off. Now you can use that once per purchase, but you can use it on every single purchase. And finally, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be first to know when we are live or when another video drops. If you can do any of that, that would be much appreciated. If all you can do is hit the subscribe button, then we are more than grateful. We really, really are. Okay, let's get into the next match. We've already done a single, so let's go into the Women's Royal Rumble match. Now, there's a list of names on the WWE website, and it's a network then. There's a list of names on the WWE website. I believe a few more have been added to that. I may or may not be wrong. I may or may be wrong. So I'm going to go through them anyway. So we do have the people that have been declared for this year's 30 women's Royal Rumble. Bayley, Liv Morgan, Bianca, Naomi, Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, Lia Valkyria, Ivy Nile, Raquel Rodriguez, Io Sky, and Candice LeRae. Now, other than that, I think the only other name that I can actually see that would be different there is Liv Morgan, who got added on a January 24th, Chelsea Green, Zelina Vega, and Piper Niven. They are also have been entered into the 30 Women's Royal Rumble. Now, have you got any idea who you think was gonna go in? Who you think is gonna be there? Honestly, I feel like I already know who's winning. But before I get onto that, I do think there could be a few surprises here. Now, already, Charlotte Flair's name already got mentioned. So Shades has said the woman is stacked upon stacked. This is one of them times where, do you remember back a couple of years ago? A lot of people didn't know the music. Universal saying 14 people were announced for the Women's Rumble. Yeah, so I've got the list of so far of what I've called out. If I did miss anyone, please feel free to you have the 16 others. Okay, well, unless it's confirmation, then obviously we're going to keep it to that. I don't like. We try to avoid rumors. You know, we try and just hit the stuff that is actually out, and then we talk about that kind of information. Shades did say it's quite stacked. It was say, as you said, a couple of years ago. Do you remember when people were coming out? We didn't really know who it was, or we knew who it was, but it took a little while for the crowd to react because of the music. I'm really hoping that isn't the case this year, and they've tried to showcase a lot of the women. I think the upside to this as well is because all three shows, Raw, NXT, and SmackDown, are on Netflix. That I think the crossover may or may not be as much of an issue. A couple of things that I do want to talk about, though, people that we could have as surprises. If you feel free, throw them in the comments. I think one of them could be Becky Lynch. Maybe she returns. Again, I think that would be fantastic to see. I'd love to see a Becky Lynch return. I got a couple of other people here that I'd think could happen. AJ Lee, maybe we get an AJ Lee return. Is it the right time, or are us fans, just wishing for something that's never going to happen? Obviously, another name floating around, Nikki Bella. What's your thoughts on Nikki Bella returning? Do you think is that something that you'd like to see? Obviously, she put back in her bio recently down as Bella. Jordan Grace, again, I think is another one that I think 100% we are going to see in this Royal Rumble. And this one's a little wild, I will say, but I'm actually amazed that we haven't seen her in any of the women's Rumbles yet. And now I know you're going to disagree with me, but we always get. I mean, we've had like Vicky Guerrero. We've had a few randoms like that. Do you think we will see Stephanie McMahon in this Royal Rumble? I know it in terms of wrestling. She had a moment. She now does more stuff, obviously backstage, all that kind of thing. But that doesn't mean certain people can't come out. So again, I'm unsure. But I think Jordan Grace will be a fantastic when she comes out. I think she's going to get a huge pop. That's something that I would love to see. In terms of winners, though, if you have any ideas or you have any thoughts on who you think could be winning, then please just stick it in the comments, and then we can discuss that as we go along. For me, I think it's Charlotte Flair. I think they've got something really good lined up and planned for Charlotte. The question is, how are fans going to react with Flair returning after an injury and instantly winning the Royal Rumble? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I like Flair. Again, is the arguments there for she pushed due to the last name? I agree, disagree to to a point. She's a fantastic wrestler, though. So I really don't know. This is that point where I kind of need Deeks and Shades to kind of bounce off to really discuss like a bit more in detail of what we think about it. Another name that we could see. Could we see the return of Jade Cargill tonight? Is that something else that we'd like to see? I mean, I really hope so. We can now if that happens, we can get to the bottom of who she was attacked by. And maybe that's another storyline that we get to see. However, for me, I'm 100% going Charlotte Flair. I think Flair returning and winning, because I believe she actually hasn't won the Rumble yet. So we'll see. But look, that's a match that I'm very, very much looking forward to. Now going from that, obviously, whoever wins goes on to WrestleMania. Before we get to WrestleMania, though, for the men at least, we have another match. And I'm not talking about the Rumble. I'm talking about Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens in a ladder match for the Undisputed WWE Championship. Now, both titles, the Undisputed and the Winged Eagle Championship belts, will be suspended above the ring. Obviously, we see that on Friday on SmackDown. Monday, just gone. That both titles were suspended above the ring. Honestly, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going to happen here. Is Cody Rhodes going into WrestleMania still as champion? Or is he going in and WrestleMania as chasing this title from Kevin Owens? I think there's been many a time now that we thought WWE needs to strike while the iron's hot and kind of pull the trigger on someone winning the title. when we least expect it. I felt the exact same way about Jey Uso against Gunther, literally like last Saturday or the week before, at Saturday night's main event. I actually thought it was time for Jey to win, and obviously that wasn't the case. They kept it on Gunther. We'll find out if that worked or not, I guess, further down the line. But back on this, Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. Honestly, I don't know. We've had a discussion at length on the build up to Saturday night's main event, and obviously the TNA stuff, the crossover. And we've had this conversation in passing, and obviously on and off camera or off stream, of who do we think is right in this situation. And weirdly, we all agree with Kevin Owens. And if you notice, the side of Cody has very much changed recently. So could we be seeing a slow heel turn on Cody Rhodes, with the shit-eating grin and, like just something different about Cody? Because we're slowly seeing that happen. He's losing confidence confidence from his friends. He's becoming a very one-man person. And Kevin Owens is really, really pushing it out there. On the other hand, is Kevin right? I don't know. But leading into this match, I've really enjoyed the build-up. I've loved Kevin coming out with the winged eagle, saying that he's the rightful champion, begrudgingly handing it over to Shawn Michaels, obviously, for it to be suspended above the ring. Yeah, I'm at a loss with this one. I really don't know. I think the obvious answer there is Cody Rhodes, but I think if you really want some like holy shit kind of booking, then I think Kevin winning would be absolutely insane. I can't see Kevin Owens winning. However, depending on where this match is in the card, I guess, I don't know. We could potentially see Kevin Owens come out again, in the men's rumble, which we're going to get to in a minute. But yeah, I don't know. I really think Cody. I don't know. Look, I'm gonna go with Cody Rhodes because I feel like that makes more sense. Obviously going into WrestleMania as a champion, I think, because the Royal Rumble winner will kind of determine that. And we'll get onto that in a minute. If it was Kevin Owens, my mind would be blown. But I don't see it, unfortunately. Annoyingly, I don't see it. But let's get on to the men's rumble. In the men's rumble itself, we have quite a few names announced. If you have a name in particular you would like to mention or shout out, then obviously let us know as I go through the names. As of at the moment, we have LA Knight, John Cena, CM Punk, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, Logan Paul, Penta, Chad Gable, Von Breakker, Carmelo Hayes, Damian Priest, Santo Escobar, and Jacob Fatu. Just that alone is mind-blowing. 18 out of the 30 entrants have been announced as of 1st of February, which was today. Now, I do have something from Shades that says, I'll just read it out, because I know he writes things very strangely. He said a statement from Shades is, this has all the makings to be the greatest men's Royal Rumble of all time. That's coming from Shades, by the way, not me. He said John Cena, Roman, Penta, Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre is absolutely madness. He said the men's Rumble is stacked. I agree. I really do agree. And obviously there's a few names there that we haven't got. So I do have a list of a couple of people that I think we may or may not see. But one of them, again, TNA, could we see Joe Hendry? I think it'd be absolutely fantastic to see the TNA World Champion appear with the title in the Royal Rumble. I think that'd be great due to the fact that they'd have a crossover connection now and they're working with each other. Joe Hendry will be something to see. I would love to. I did see somewhere. I can't remember where it was. I know it was on X, so I'm not going to take credit for it. But just the moment where everyone's down and the two biggest memes in wrestling, Joe Hendry, obviously with the music thing, and John Cena with the "You Can't See Me," just standing there, looking eye to eye, toe to toe, and just staring at each other to have just a holy shit moment, I think would be I think it'd be such a memorable moment in the Royal Rumble that I think that's something that we could actually see. I think it'd be fantastic to see as well. So give me your thoughts on that. Other people that we could potentially see. Obviously, there's only been, let me double check. There's only been 18 entrances, so only 18 people announced. That's 12 others. So could we see any of the Hardys, Matt or Jeff? Is that something that you'd like to see? I think again with the working with TNA, maybe is something that we could see. On top of that, Matt Cardona. We know Chelsea Green. I'm not going to do the higher pitched voice because there's no way I can get that high, I'm afraid. We know she is in the women's Royal Rumble. Would we like to see the husband of Chelsea Green, which is Matt Cardona, appear? I think that'd be something quite interesting. I mean, there's so much more. I think another one. Could we see the Great One? Could The Rock also be in a Royal Rumble? Is that something that you would like to see? Again, potentially he hasn't been announced, but you know he could appear. I'm just trying to think who else. Dominic Mysterio, that could be another one. Obviously, you know, with the Rey Mysterio drama. A couple of years ago, Dom prevented Rey from entering. So could we get something similar along the lines so someone else comes out? I think one that we always have that is a great moment. R-Truth. Is he going to appear in the women's rumble and the men's rumble again this year? Is that going to happen? Another question. Will we have a woman enter the men's rumble? We've had Nia do it in the past. Do you think we could have Nia do it again? I don't know. Maybe. What would your thoughts be on that? Would you go for that? Would you be for it? Would you be against it? I think in terms of picking a winner, though, I really don't know. Look, I think it comes down to this: it's either Cena, Punk, Roman, or Drew. I think those are the four that potentially are going to win. It's definitely going to be one of those, right? Agree or disagree? Let me know. But I do think like one of those four is definitely going through. I think those four, there is more than likely it's going to be them. Could we have I don't even want to call it an upset because I don't think it would be. But would it be a shock win if Jey Uso was to come out, you know, and he was to win it? Again, I think that would be shocking. But I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know who's going to win this. I think if in terms of booking, let's say Cody Rhodes wins against Owens. Okay, let's say that happens, which we more than likely know is going to happen. I guess from the fact that the way things are going, we know Cody's going to WrestleMania with a title. So let's say it's adamant that that's happening. Do we want Cody going against Roman Reigns for the third time, or do we want Cody going against CM Punk? Now, CM Punk and Cody had their back and forth on Raw. I believe it was Raw a couple of weeks ago, and I really, really enjoyed that. Punk saying that he's going to be what happens next, that promo, and I really enjoyed that. So Punk going against Cody, I think would be fantastic. Again, another one that I believe is able, but it isn't actually announced yet. We could have Randy Orton appear. Would Randy need to win it? Maybe not. But again, that's another name we could throw into the hat. I think. Oh, I really don't know. I think it all depends. It's one of those things that it's in situation of if we knew what was happening with The Rock, it would kind of determine what happens with Roman Reigns, I guess. But because we don't know that, I think it leaves and I think that's what I like about this Rumble. We actually don't know. We don't actually have an idea of who it could be. As I said, LA Knight, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. Just those names alone is mind-blowing. Jacob Fatu as well. I mean, I reckon Jacob Fatu I think he could have a really good showing in this. This would be a perfect time for him to show how much of a beast he really is. You know, he took out Braun Strowman, and that was absolutely amazing. So I would love to see something happen with Jacob Fatu just to really, really put a dent in of he's running SmackDown. If you see the promo last night, you would have seen that when he was talking to Damian Priest. So there's something's building there. So I reckon I reckon Priest will 100% be thrown out by Jacob Fatu. Carmelo Hayes, I think, would be fantastic as well. I think they're going to have a good showing. Do we think we're going to get the Cody Rhodes spot this year, or do you think that's going to someone else? By a Cody Rhodes spot, I mean being saved last minute, but 1 foot on the floor, something like that. I don't know if we're going to get it this year with Cody purely because they've just knew they had turned heel. So the crowd will be. It's one of those things. The crowd will more than likely boo because he's been saved, but then they get heat from it. So it kind of works in their favor, but not in a way that it would normally work. So, I don't know. For me, John Cena seems far too obvious. I think there's a better story for Cena. I would love to see Cena come in at number 1, and get thrown out at number 29. So he isn't. He goes like bell to bell, almost bell to bell, and then gets thrown out. Saying that, I don't know who would be the number 2. I'm not sure. Penta also, by the way, Penta had a moment with Braun Breaker, and I really enjoyed that. Penta kind of just staring at him, the Zero Miedo stuff, which so far WWE have really made him look like a star over the last couple of weeks. Not that he wasn't in the past. Please don't think I'm not just saying he wasn't. He was, even from his Lucha Underground days. One of the first things I see with him was his match against Vampiro. Insane, absolutely insane. So, and I've been a fan of Penta since. But the way they've really delivered it and boosted him in the way, that way I think has been fantastic. So I actually think Penta could throw out Braun Breaker to start something there. I think a lot of things in this Rumble we're gonna see a lot happen in this Rumble for the fact that he's gonna set something up. I think that's what we're getting from this Rumble. There's a lot of setting up for this. We've got no one from the White 6 yet, so maybe that no Karrion Kross either. There's no Miz, so maybe we'll get someone like that. But let's get down to the answer, I guess. Who do I think is gonna win? I don't think it's Cena. I don't think it's Rollins, so let's rule them out. It's either CM Punk or Roman Reigns. Now, I don't think Roman needs to win the Rumble to be still a strong contender. He's got the tribal chief thing. Just got the Udo Fala back. Depending on what happens with Rock, as I was saying, if Rock is available and is working Mania, then I think that's what happens there. So by process of elimination, technically it's CM Punk. I don't know how I feel about that. I'll be honest. I don't. I'm not against it. Punk winning the Rumble, I think would be great. Obviously he got injured on his first one, so him coming back coming back for this one, hopefully doesn't get injured again. I'm not against that. I am not against that at all. But does it need to be CM Punk? That's the question. Is there someone else in this spot that could really do with being a push for a Rumble win? As I said, there's Jey Uso there, Sami Zayn. Arguably, I know everyone's going to disagree, but Logan Paul. Can you imagine? Imagine the reaction if Logan Paul was to win the Rumble. The crowd, yes, they would boo. Rightfully so. People just don't like Logan. He's got that natural ability about him to just be hated. I don't know if it would work, but I can see him potentially going for Gunther. So, again, I don't know where Logan would kind of fit into winning it, but that would be insane. I don't think it's time for Penta yet, unfortunately. Obviously, he can just get in there. The only other person I would say, Jacob Fatu, but I think he's going to get thrown out, but he's going to have a good showing. Yeah, so look, I think by process of elimination, I think it comes down to CM Punk. Which again, I'm not against. I'm not against it. I don't know if Punk is the right person. I'm just trying to think, rack my brain to who else could be in a perfect spot for that. And obviously, all the names that I've said have already been entered into this announced at least. So yeah, look, I'm going Punk. So Punk for the men's Royal Rumble, and then I'm also going Charlotte for the women's Royal Rumble. I'm then going Motor City Machine Guns for this match here, the 2 out of 3 falls, and I'm going Cody Rhodes. I think that's my 4. That's my predictions for this. Obviously, I haven't got the other guys' predictions. Otherwise, I feel like this may go a little longer. Please, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I can see the numbers there. I'm very, very appreciative that you are tuning in. You are listening. Majority of those, you are on X, which again, I do appreciate. Really, I really do. If you could though, if all I ask is this, please go over to our YouTube channel, which is in our link in our bio. You can go over there. Just drop us a follow on it on YouTube. We really, really would appreciate it. We've got some more interviews coming out. We've got some more video stuff coming out. We do have other stuff planned. We've got a really cool interview coming up very, very soon. I'm not going to announce the name yet, but it's going to be someone fun that is currently wrestling. You may know them. I hope. But for the moment, that's kind of where we're at. So again, I just want to have a quick another quick rundown. Anyone that has comments here, anyone that wants to leave a comment here, obviously now is a bit the perfect time. So look, let's go again. I just want to go through one last time, see if anyone feels anything different. Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY. Yes or no? How are we feeling about it? Do you think it could be match of the night? Do you think they're going to steal the show? Me personally, I think they will. I think this is going to be probably could be match of the night. I really do think that. These guys are great together. Together. Sorry, I'm just getting messages from from Shades. Yeah, so obviously that could be match of the night. Into the women's rumble, I think all the names announced. Sorry, Charlotte Flair for me is the big one, but I do think we're going to get some surprises. Jordynne Grace will probably be Jordynne Grace, Becky Lynch, potentially AJ Lee, and Nikki Bella. I think are the 4 names that could be floating around. Michelle McCall, I guess, is another one. Layla, I think, would be another one. If you haven't, by the way, please go and check out Slee Ryan's interview with Layla. I will put it underneath and I'll tag him. So big shouts out to Ryan. A fantastic interview with Layla. It was thoroughly enjoyed it. So could we see her in the Rumble? Maybe. Again, that'd be something very, very special. That'd be something really cool to see. Going into this match here, obviously Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. A ladder match. I haven't seen a good ladder match in a long time. Like just 2 guys. Normally there's a multiple. I actually can't think of the last time it was just 2 guys in a ladder match. I really actually can't think. So this is going to be good. It's going to be really good. I'm going Cody Rhodes, but I think if we're bringing back some stuff of Kevin Owens from the Ring of Honor days, I literally showed Shades the video of Kevin Steen and El Generico, their ladder match of Ring of Honor, and the package pile driver through the ladder, which was used as a bridge between another 2 ladders. And I showed him that, and maybe we get that spot. I think that'd be incredible. But obviously, with them using a pile driver as an important move, it depends on how it goes. Maybe we go to get that spot, and instead Owens is the one that gets put through with a package pile driver, and that's how Cody wins. I'd love to see something like that. That'd be really, really interesting. But yeah, I'm going Cody. Finally, down to the men's Royal Rumble. I'm going CM Punk. I actually can't think. There's a lot of names there, and a lot that I think could be great potentials. Again, let's go through LA Knight, John Cena, CM Punk, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, Logan Paul, Penta, Chad Gable, Bron Breakker, Carmelo Hayes, Damian Priest, Santos Escobar, and Jacob Fatu. Man, 18 names announced, and they are who they are so far. There's a lot. It's a good amount as well. Like there's no one there that's just terrible. Sometimes you do get an odd one. You think, oh no, really, what a waste of a spot. Hopefully, that isn't the case. I don't mind 1 or 2 gimmick spots, but when you have like all 3 announcers appear, it's a waste of 3 spots, in my opinion. I would like someone to come back. I'm not sure who. I mean, how would people think about like a Foley return? Would that be something that you'd like to see? I'm trying to think who else we could have. As I said, we've already mentioned Joe Hendry. We've already mentioned the Hardy Boys. How about Nick Nemeth, or formerly Dolph Ziggler? Would that be something you'd like to see? Top dollar, AJ Francis. Again, another one that I'd love to see in the Rumble. I think that'd be really cool to see from TNA crossover. Any of the Rascals, I'd like to see that. I'm just trying to think who else that we could have that would be just insane to have over from TNA. Moose, again, I guess that'd be another one that I'd love to see. There's a plethora of people that I think would be so good to see just come over from TNA. I'm not saying we need to have everyone from TNA come over, but there's a few names that I would like to see. Obviously I've announced those. What about any people from NXT? Obviously, I think for me, Sol Ruka, I'd love to see Sol Ruka come over, or come into the Rumble, should I say, for the women. I'm trying to think. We've got Julia. That's another one that I'd like to see. This is the point where I need Deeks here, because he's the bigger NXT guy. If I asked him who he'd want to see, 100% he could rattle them off. And he'd be able to give me a full info of everyone that he'd love to see. But as I said, Deeks is otherwise busy. So unfortunately, guys, you just left with me. But yeah, look, I think there's quite a few. I mean, even talking from the women, Rosemary, obviously we've had that moment with her, and Wendy Cho, Steph Delander. I think she's still injured. Maybe I actually can't remember. But there's a few names that could kind of float around and maybe really good to see. That's just from TNA. That's without anyone coming over from NXT. I mean, the NXT roster is insanely stacked, for the women, even just for the women. I know. And do you have anyone in mind that you would like to see? Obviously, those that are listening now. Julia. I think Julia for me is the one that I really want to see. Julia, Lola Vice, again, that would be another one. Lash Legend, Jada Parker, that would be a few of those that were coming in. Anyone from Chemical X at the moment, obviously they've just been put together. I'm really enjoying that. Brinley Reese, Ariana Grace, Adriana Rizzo. Man, there's so many names that we could see at the moment, especially come up from the women's division in NXT to Royal Rumble and really have a nice showing. And I think someone like Roxanne Perez it'll be a perfect time for her to kind of gone from the NXT, come over to the Rumble, and then kind of just go straight back into the Raw or SmackDown. I think that would be prime for someone like her, as a way of moving forwards and moving up, should we say. But look, these are the people that I've kind of gone through. These are the people that I'd love to see. Is there any comments, any thoughts, any opinions on who you'd like to have come in? I guess there is. I think for me, coming over though, I just think names that we wouldn't want to see. We wouldn't think of, or names that we already know but haven't been announced. I think the biggest one for me is Jordan Grace. I think that's the number one, and I'd love her to come in at number one. I actually don't think they've announced the number one spot for the women. So correct me if I'm wrong, please. But yeah, Jordan Grace coming out at number one or number two would be great, or even number three. But I think it needs to be early so she can have a really good showing. As I said, guys, as I kind of wind down, I try not to go too long. I'm amazed that I can actually speak for this long about wrestling just on my own. Just keeping you guys kind of updated, having our opinions and stuff. I am kind of speaking for all three of us, but the other guys aren't here, I'm afraid. So I do apologize. We will be back to normal scheduling, and the three of us being together again on the stream at some point. As I said, at the moment, the other guys are busy. So, it just lives down to me. So finally, if you can just give us a subscription, subscribe to us on YouTube, we'll be more than appreciative of that. Or not, if you can go over to Twitch and give us a follow on there. Or if you can, something that we would like is give us another follow. If it's the first time hearing us, give us a follow on X. Retweet the fact that we've done the stream. We are going to be talking about the Rumble after as well. Maybe not straight after, but I'll give you my thoughts and reactions on overall winners and stuff like that potentially tomorrow. And obviously we will go from there. So guys, look, it's been fun talking wrestling, of course. It's been really weird talking wrestling on my own, yes. But guys, we got through it. And with you guys listening, and weirdly, this is probably one of our higher numbered streams. And I'm really, really appreciative for that. And I know the other guys would be as well. So again, thank you for tuning in. And hope you enjoy Royal Rumble. We will be live tweeting it or live posting it, whatever you want to call it now. So feel free to join in with our discussion, have some opinions, get involved, and guys, comment, come comment, give us some stuff to talk about on this live stream. I want to try and do more, regardless if it's just me on my own or with the three of them. I do want to try and get at least a live stream in at least once or twice a week, just to talk more things wrestling. But yeah, guys, I really, really appreciate you tuning in and being on the live with me. Until the next one, peace.